Today, I'm going to report on the rental market with Billy Bob. We're going to tell you about where rents were and where rents are. It's called Rental Spread. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning.
This is a delicate topic.
It's so tricky. We're not here to rub it in the face, anyone. This is just reporting the facts. And it's quite tricky when no one's talking about it. Like, it's really hard.
You know what? I was talking to some family on Sunday. This is the one topic I find very, very difficult to talk about without backlash on social media. It's probably the only topic. But it is, it's one of those things that anyone that is pro tenant is championed. Anyone is pro landlord is annihilated. We're going to be neither here. We're Switzerland. We're sitting right in the middle. But we do want to tell you exactly the sort of what we're seeing out there in the rental market, the numbers we're seeing, and I think a lot of
Frozen on us. I think Mark was going to say, I think a lot of landlords are feeling the change.
Oops.
Sorry, finish your sentence. A lot of landlords are...
They don't know what's normal and what's not normal until they speak to their property manager as to, you know, what the market's paying in addition to where it was. I do know that rents for 10 years probably haven't changed much more than 10%, but property values have doubled, interest rates have doubled or tripled. So landlords are sort of happy to try to claw back if the market increases are there. It is putting a lot of pressure on landlords with all the interest rate rises. It is putting a lot of pressure on tenants with all these rent rises and all the immigration that's coming into the country. It's just this pressure cooker at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think everyone can feel there's been a change. Landlords particularly, you know, those costs of living and you know, tenants included have you know, drastically gone up. But what is normal these days? So we've got 10 properties this morning, all leased in the last 2 weeks, with a rental spread that will show you before and after sort of prices, and it's a change in, you know, sort of market value. At the end of the day, there's people coming in, you know, making moves now.
Believe it or not, the technical term is the spread, the rental spread. We never hear it used in our industry, I guess because there hasn't been a lot of rental spread over the last 10, 20 years. Like, typically the rents haven't tracked like CPI, like market increases, like CPIs, like inflation, like property prices, but they are now. They're on the move.
Well, let's jump into it. So this one here, I might have to move this just this way. You can see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So this was a property up in Delmar Parade, just across the road from our office. I think this was a 2-bed, 2-bath from memory. I know the block fairly well. Old rent $630, new rent $720. Big change. Big change.
Yeah, we're looking at what's that? That's closer to like 15, 17%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, simple terms, just under $100 a week. You know, straight out of the pocket. But got to remember, guys, some of these spreads will seem larger than others. Reason being, it's between tenancies. So sometimes you've got a tenant that's lived in a property for 3 or 4 years, no rent increase.
That's a good point.
Not a massive change, and then it's coming back into market at a new rate. And other times it might have been a 6 or a 12-month lease where there's a small change. So just keep that in mind. 5 at 111 Oaks Avenue. Nice position, nice and close to the beach. big price difference, and I think this is one.
How many bedrooms is that one?
2. Great block.
Okay.
Really
That's
good block.
what's that rental spread dollar wise?
$690 to $850. So again, well over that $100. You know, $150 a week.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
And you know what I often see? It does sometimes tenants are saying, like landlords, it's a bit of, it disrupts tenants seeing these sort of numbers. But if you looked at landlords, technically are cutting it a lot harder than $100 a week. So if you look at landlords' repayment on a typical mortgage, on typical value of a property, that's changed by, you know, almost $500 a week for a lot of landlords out there. So I just have to say, everyone is hurting. But there was a stage through COVID where everyone was eating cake. You know, governments were handing out money, and I guess now it's sort of payback time a little bit. With, you know, you can see interest rates have gone up, and government's got their hands out with the Reserve Bank putting rates up. People got to pay. It's time to pay it back. So yeah,
it's a tricky time. It's a tricky time for all. Another property in DY. We seem to be having a lot of DY ones here. Old rent $690, new rent $750. That's another nice block. I think that one is.
So how many bedrooms that, Billy? I can't sort of see how many bedrooms they are. I don't know if you can see it on your screen.
No,
but how many bedrooms that property?
Two bedrooms from memory. 2 bedrooms from memory. This is an interesting one. This is actually a little one-room studio apartment. Old rent $350, new rent $420 per week. So this is kind of what we find our entry level properties have changed.
So on this one, guys, we do a bit of, like, we've got a commercial arm to our business as well, the residential projects and everything there. This one's interesting because this is a typical boarding house. It's got a block of 40. So it starts tracking. This is sort of the entry level, or this was designed to be affordable housing, because they were studios, because they were 25 meters squared. They're lightly furnished, and to see that 350 was affordable. Now I'm seeing 420. That's starting to get hard for one person's wage to be covering that much. That's a heck of a lot of money. What's Anthony got to say?
Don't forget the horrendous land tax increases landlords have to pay. Land tax, cancel rates, etc., tripled in 10 years. Land tax is a topic we've touched on in another episode, and you're absolutely right.
Just on that figure, I just have to say, if you're in a typical area on the northern beaches, I don't think we're affluent, but I don't think we're entry level to the market. We're probably above the median a little bit. A landlord now will have to pay, like a professional landlord who has a couple of properties, they may be taking $900 a week in rent for the house that's on that block of land. They could be paying as much as $600 a week for land tax now. To give you an idea, that figure was only $100, $200 a few years back. So when people like Anthony talk about land tax tripling, this is a landlord that has a mortgage that they have to pay the mortgage from the rent and the maintenance of the property, but $600 of that to pay land tax first, and then they got $300 left to pay mortgage and maintenance of the property, upkeep of the property. So land tax is a big one, guys. It really, really is.
So this is a great example. Thanks for putting this in, Anthony. So in Anthony's case, paying $6,000 per annum in 2014, and now it's $36,000. And the rent rose from $1,100 to $1,500 a week. So there you can start to understand, that's the change in rent, $400 a week, but the land tax is just well out of line in percentage.
Yeah. And look, it does. This whole land tax thing is across. You're going to get, for tenants that are watching, landlords will get a free threshold of about 950 grand UCV, unencumbered value of the land. It's not unencumbered. Anyway, it left me. But once you pass that threshold, that's when you're due to pay a land tax. So it's widely varied between landlords with properties, particularly houses. Units are exposed, but they tend to fall under the threshold a little bit more. Let's keep looking at the rental spread.
Let's keep moving. This is a property really close to DY Beach, about 300 meters off the water. Old rent 600, new rent 660. This is a smaller 2-bedroom, not not original by any means, but certainly not renovated to the 10s. Really nice apartment. I've actually rented that out myself back in the rentals days. So there's about 10% change there. You can see, I think that's 660, 650 is probably about the new median average for DY now, 2 bedrooms.
So guys, that is rental spread, 590 to 600. Another one, $110, about 15%.
New buildings have been
10%.
so popular. This is actually a 1-bedroom. So 1 bedroom, yeah, an extra $50 a week. It's got a little winter garden, which is pretty cool. Nice big 3-bedder in Richmond Avenue, 1,300 to 1,400. Beautiful building, that one. Banksia Street, I think this was a big 1-bedroom from memory, 650 to 700, 1 or 2 bedrooms.
Wow.
Another new building, 720 to 780.
So it's looking like, yeah. So there you go. So guys and girls, that is the term. If you're wondering, if you want to put it into a term, the old rent to the new rent, it's called rental spread. We're experiencing with relets of properties about on average about a 10% rental spread. Sometimes it's 15%, sometimes it's 8%. Very difficult conversation to have. It is pressure on tenants, but admittedly it is pressure on landlords as well. And I don't think there's anyone to blame. I think it's the forces of the market. I think it's interest rate, like everything's gone up. So that's the uneasy way of life at the moment.
Yeah, but there's the facts. As I said, that's Switzerland morning radio talk. There's the facts. That's the change in prices.
That's it.
Have a good day, guys. See you later.
Billy Bob, have a great day. Thanks, guys. Hope this helped you.